It is great to be back with another episode of the 100% Run. Let's jump straight over to Red Rapid Docks. Red Rapid Docks. Yeah, got it. Got it in the end. Okay, so from here we've got to do the quest, the Advanced Scouts. Wipe out the encampments, steal the war totems, and deal with the camps. Afterwards, I want to do a little bit of a side quest, so we'll need to go find Fellow's Chalk, who I believe is in the Dead Horse's camp. Somewhere. Take the totem.
Those tents down there, that is a White Leg war camp. Do you see the war totems they've erected around the tents? White Leg warriors pray to them for strength and savagery before battle. This is no raiding band.
Okay, any advice on how to deal with them?
You might rush them and take them by surprise. We would be badly outnumbered then, though, and these will be strong fighters. We might also use their superstition against them. White Leg warriors believe that to lose their totems on the eve of battle is a terrible omen.
Okay, so totems are sacred, good to know.
Yes. If their war totems were to disappear, they would likely lose the will to fight.
Okay, let's get down there.
I will follow your command.
We'll be badly outnumbered.
You can move me.
Get him! Chase him down! No need to take war totems. If they're all dead. That was my going theory on it all. Mine. Yeah. Could took more of their totems, but
I'll fight you if I must.
I'm just wiping them out to be just as fun.
Zion used to be a place of peace, you know. Daniel says that it is holy in the eyes of the Father. You will see it as it was.
Poor fellow. Died with a tomahawk right to the back.
There are you. There are you.
Mid-air collision. And I'm going to take the war totems. Just out of badness. Gathering storms, ooh. This is the point that the game kind of switches to two choices. We will do both. Right, is there somewhere I have not been yet? Two Skies Cave, definitely. I think I've been to every one of them. But just to be sure. Kill Cazadors in the Big Mountain, disable mines. Use turbo 20 times. Wealthy posters. They were all repeat ones anyway. Lose 5 times at Caravan. Empty space. Yeah, the caches, I need to find a few more. That's still a mad one that you had to have 4 intelligence to unlock up. But at least we figured that one out. Okay. Was it Two Skies Cave, or was it Fallen Rock Cave. Was that the one I didn't do? There's one of these that we didn't go into. I feel we did do this one. Nope, nope, we have done it. Good way to figure it out. Just zoom out. It's like, oh, we've done it. Gotcha. Morning Glory, we did the Cuba Garasha one. I'm trying to think. The only one I don't think we did was maybe Fallen Rock Cave. Did I maybe walk in and not do this? No, we did do it. Huh, right. Okay, so I actually went to all of the places because I assumed the caches were, you know, in all the caves, but turns out there's one or two that you just find sitting about. Apparently one's an Angel Cave here. Okay, so we know that Joshua is not here right now. The whole point is we're just looking for Fellow's Chalk, but I'm up here now anyway, so... might as well see where this goes. Haha! Challenge complete! Now we just need to find Fellow's Chalk, and that is us. Right, back over. Let's see if he's about.
Good job getting those supplies to Daniel. If you were a dead horse, you'd get a tattoo for that.
What's this obsession you seem to have with civilization?
Let me tell you a story.
Good job, let's get to some
When I was a
quests.
boy, a man came through the valley with one of the caravans. Tall man, big mustache, carried a guitar. I asked what he did for his living, and the interpreter told me he was a singer. What is that? I asked. The man explained that he went from place to place and sang for people, who gave him food and shelter and care in return. I couldn't believe that there was a place in this world where a man could do that. I promised myself then that one day I'd explore that world myself.
And what does Joshua think of this?
I haven't told him yet. Never had the growins.
Maybe I could talk to him for ya.
You'd do that? Sure. Sounds smart to me. He might not get so mad at you.
Tell me a little more about this area. Any interesting wildlife?
Mostly it's the mountain bighorners. Whole herd of them up on the cliffs there. Usually they're not too aggressive, but lately, whew. My guess is one of the calves got lost somewhere along the way. Bighorners are communal. One missing calf, and the whole herd gets ornery. If that calf doesn't turn up soon, they might very well come down into the valley and attack the camp.
Maybe I can help with that.
Yeah? Hey, thanks. Most of the hunters don't listen when I tell them the problem. Just one thing. Try not to kill any bighorners if you can, yeah? You'll drive the herd off and we'll have to range farther on our hunts.
No problem. What would you suggest I do?
You might try luring the baby out with some banana yucca. These bighorners go crazy for the stuff.
Okay.
That's great. I'll help any way I can. What can I tell you?
Okay, tell me more about the bighorner problem. Tell me more about Joshua. Wait, hold on.
Mostly it's the mountain big...
Okay, we've done that. What happened to Joshua?
Well, before he left, he didn't have those bandages all over his face. That tell you something?
Only recent war I know is when Caesar's legion attacked the dam. Is that where he fought?
I don't know. He doesn't talk about it much. Maybe. But how can two civilized tribes fight over something as small as a dam?
Small, have you seen the Hoover Dam? It's bigger than some of these mountains.
Really? That's... my gods. Must be some mighty civilized folks who built that.
You'd be surprised what civilized tribes would fight over.
Now you sound like Joshua. He always tells me that tribal life is better. That I should stay here and forget the outside world.
Okay. Who are the tribals that attack me?
Whitelegs. Nasty bunch. They've been raiding deeper into Zion ever since New Canaan was wiped out.
Where'd they come from?
That's the weird part. Normally, the Whitelegs keep to the Great Salt Lake. I don't know what brought them down this far south.
More about you.
What can I tell you?
Why are you called follows chalk?
Our advanced scouts leave chalk signs to mark places rich with game. I'm not a full scout yet, so I follow the marks and guide the hunters.
What about the tattoos?
Dead horses mark ourselves to commemorate our hunts. When a hunter takes a great beast, or when a youth goes on his first hunt, he gets a tattoo.
Tell me about your tribe.
We came up in the land of the dead horse, though why the back when folks called it that, I got no hint. We raided, we fought, we lost. Our enemies drove us back into Zion, and we would have died if it hadn't been for Joshua. Joshua and his Caesar.
Wait, what about Kaiser?
When Joshua first came to us, he was servant to a man he called Caesar. He led his master's armies, and we were ready to follow him into war. Then he lost his master's army to a tribe called NCR, the Sunset People.
NCR?
When he returned, he was as you saw him. Burned, broken, but changed. He led us away from Caesar, led us to our own destiny in Zion.
Okay, what did he do for you?
If it wasn't for Joshua, the dead horses would still be the whipping boys of the Zion Valley. He taught us how to hold our territory, to protect ourselves. He guided us away from Caesar, and showed us how Caesar would have destroyed us.
So what do you know about the new Canaanites then?
Little bit. I met some of their missionaries a few times, but I've never been to their city. Joshua could tell you more. Or Daniel, I imagine.
What's with the shell casings in your club?
We decorate our clubs with them to honor Joshua Graham. They were the weapons of his old tribe, so now they are ours. Can't say they seem that dangerous to me, but Joshua says they won the West.
Do you remember anything about Joshua before he became your leader?
Only a little. I was very young. He was different. Prouder, yes, but harder, crueler, more driven. Really, I was terrified of him. We all were. When he came back, I almost didn't believe he was the same man. He was humbler. He wanted to protect, not destroy.
Why is it so important we fight the Whitelegs?
Well, because they're our enemies. What else would we do? They take our land, they kill our scouts. They poach our hunting grounds.
No worries, let's talk later.
What can I tell you?
Oh, so he doesn't actually come with us for this. Find a way up the cliffs. Might have just done it. Do we have any banana yucca? Oh, one time would be very useful. They'll probably have a plant sitting up here. Don't kill them. Tell you what, actually.
Daniel says that most people outside the valley do not keep to the Father's word.
I'm running a risk. There may be no banana yucca where we are. Or through sheer game design, they may have thought it useful to give us some. Or in another instance, they would laugh at it. Oh. Yeah. There's the calf. I think. Don't know if it's the lost calf, but Oh, he's way up this way. I actually just hear my sister streaming at the moment. You're a calf. You're not the one I'm looking for, though. There you go. I'm hoping you path okay. Come on. Scared, feed it more. Let's go. Come on, little one. There we go. He's a coming. He's a good boy. Was a good boy. No longer a good boy. Bad boy. No more. Oh, no banana yucca up here. Come on, please, please, please. Mom is just there. Right here. No. Keep the calf. Return the calf. Whew. Well, that was something.
What can I tell you?
Well, I returned the calf to its mother and didn't even kill any of them.
Whew, glad to hear it. That'll be some happy mama, huh? Thank you. Really, it means a lot to me.
Fantastic. Almost level 50, tell you folks. That's good work, like. So, in terms of 100%, we'll be doing all of the Gunrunner arsenal, all the achievements, as many of the challenges that we can that don't conflict with one another, kind of like the speech failure one. Just be doing as many of them as possible. But with all the GRA achievements, that's on their own. That is quite the feat.
Welcome back. What can I do for you?
Fellow Chalk seems interested in more of the world.
I thought he might. It's been some time since I visited civilized places. I don't have fond memories of them. But I have always seen these places from the outside. I'd rather not influence him more than I already do. Why don't you talk to him?
You know it means I'm going to encourage him to leave. I may prefer.
Follows Chalk needs more guidance in his life. Just not from me.
Okay. Okay, my opinion on civilization. This should probably... No, I say probably. This will finish, I think, the last quest we can do. So let's have a little chat to him, eh?
What can I tell you?
So if you don't do this, he's actually not in the final cinematics. And you have two choices. So we can say I talked to Joshua about your thoughts on civilization.
Yeah? What did he say?
So either I can lie and say it's a den of corruption and vice and the dead horses are the way of living, and he'll be like, oh, dead on, but doesn't really matter. That a man must follow his heart no matter where it leads him, or he said he had a hard time being an objective about the whole idea, and I should give you the advice.
He said that? Well, I guess you have been out there more recently than he has. So, what's your advice?
You should stay here with your people, you've a duty to them. Civilization isn't perfect, but neither is tribal life. You should go see it for yourself. We'll go with that.
Really? You think so? Whew! I'm going to do it. After all this is over, I'm going to go explore civilization.
Now, the strange thing about
Dankni,
this...
Akis. I never would have had the growins to ask him myself.
The only thing about that, like, which is a wee bit wild, is... doesn't, like, there's no major difference to it. Alright, Waking Cloud. You know, whilst it's doing its little loading screen thing, that was pretty cool. Right. That's us. That is Honest Hearts done, bar the last thing. Let's save it here. So this is the fork in the road, so to speak, because on one hand we have a peaceful ending, and on the other hand a very brutal ending. I'm gonna opt for the brutal one. That's just the way I roll. But for now,
I'm glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you?
checked on everything in the valley, and you've got the map to the Grand Staircase.
I appreciate it. Well, that's it. This is all we need. Now all that's left is to quietly pack up and try to get out of here without being noticed. That's assuming that Joshua won't try to stop me. And that he hasn't talked you into fighting the Whitelegs, despite what I've said. Don't worry, I don't hold it against you. You're an outsider. Fighting seems like the practical solution. I'll tell you again. There's more at stake.
Okay, no going back. Whether you decide whether the Sorrows should fight or flee, your decision will set their destiny irrevocably in motion. You'll be unable to finish any remaining quests. Once you make your decision, choose wisely. Joshua's right, we should fight. Don't worry, I think leaving Zion is the best.
It may be. I hope it is. To tell the truth, if something goes wrong, more Sorrows could die in the escape than in Joshua's proposed attack. Even knowing that, it's a risk I have to take. With your help and Joshua's, even if we're attacked, we can defend the Sorrows and escape. We'll be traveling at night in small groups across the valley. With luck,
I've never done this end
the
before.
Whitelegs won't know what's happened until the next morning. But if the Whitelegs realize what's happening, Joshua and I will need you to help us escape. Don't hold back. I promise you. The Whitelegs won't. Once our path is clear, I'll give you everything you need to get back to the Mojave. But the Pine Creek Tunnel must be collapsed behind us. It's the only way to delay the Whitelegs' pursuit long enough for us to get a head start. Good luck. And may God be with us.
So that explains that. Luck up to 9. Yeah.
Daniel must have made it to the tunnel by now. But there are Sorrows all over the valley. We have to help them and get Daniel out of here.
Alright, let's go.
Right.
We have the Way of the Cannonite. While Joshua Graham is in your party, any 45 caliber you have has less spread and is twice likely to score a critical hit. Optional quests. So we've got Prisoners of War, kill the Whitelegs at Ranger Station Osprey. Sanctity of the Dead. Retake the bridge. Yeah, we'll wait till daytime. Though they said they would go in small groups at night, but rescue the Prisoners of War. There we go. That's that is better looking. There we go. There we go. Ah, come on. Don't do this to me. Aha! Talk about outsmarting the game. Or maybe getting outsmarted? Josh is looking at me like this imbecile. Right, no easy peasy route for me. Huh. Another opportunity has presented itself, it would appear. I won't loot anything. There's no point. This is not our ending. For the white legs. They must be destroyed. Bit of a longer walk around to it than I originally thought there would be, but it's fine.
She findet here. There are you. There are you. You murder my hanji.
Little woozy. Aw, did you have poison in that? You did. Must be one up here. Got him. There we go. No more poison for me. Cure animal poison? Oh, I can't see nothing. Dark Datura poison. Oh. That was better. Can't even fast travel. We gotta walk our way over to the objective. Joshua's in tow somewhere. So, is this the burial ground or... Oh, they're both in the same area. Retake the bridge. Help with the burials. And that is... push on past them. Dinner bell time. We taste your own medicine. Blood Shield carried over to the main Mojave would make the Cazadors significantly less big a problem. What that grenade? That's for you.
You can no ninkupa me.
How about they're still running about with Yao Guai gauntlets? You know. It's not a mundane detail, the gauntlets. They're Yao Guai, like they're used. Yeah, they're one of the strongest weapons in the game. The tribe happens to be armed to the teeth with them. Needn't worry about them anymore.
Work well done. You've called down the wrath.
I'm not why with you.
All in a day's favor.
We're not even getting any XP. Wild. Level 50. We're just maxed out. Easy. I can see why fast travel wouldn't be available, because then you would just fast travel straight to Pine Creek Tunnel. Ooh.
That's it. See, made Jack.
How he survived a critical hit to the head.
Foolish,
Oh, there he
young
is.
man. You best white legs you think. By my spear, you die!
Wait, there's no reason this has to end in bloodshed. Sneering Imperialist. Time to time to die, General Gobbledygook. I think we're gonna do that anyway, but I want to just see what the speech looks like.
You speak. I listen. Kill you. Maybe I not. Maybe.
Your power is broken. You cannot hope to prevail here. Leave this valley in peace. You've already crushed your warriors. Retreat now. Rebuild your tribe or die in obscurity. Daniel and the Sorrows are weak prey, not fit for such mighty warriors.
Sorrows are weak. We go. Find true warriors to test us. Prepare to meet your mate.
General Gobbledygook will return.
You called out the wrath. Under your
Please, have you done everything you can for the Sorrows? Are they all accounted for?
Yep, go.
You've done more than I could have ever hoped for. Thank you. And may God protect you for all of your days. Goodbye.
Daniel's given you a detonator that is set to detonate the C4 placed above the mouth of the Pine Creek Tunnel. Firing this will collapse the passage and prevent any white legs from following Daniel and the Sorrows out of Zion. May my hand forget its skill, evacuate
And
Zion.
so it was that the conflict
we
between
listen.
the New Canaanites and the White Legs was finally resolved. The courier's involvement had tipped the scale, shifting the fragile balance of power.
After the White Legs drove the Sorrows from Zion, they celebrated by destroying all traces of the valley's former inhabitants. They appealed to the Legion for assimilation, but were denied. Their failure to eradicate the New Canaanites in Grand Staircase and farther up the Colorado had not gone unnoticed.
Didn't even get to join in the
The
end.
White Legs made a half-hearted effort to find the New Canaanites, but were driven off by dead horses trained in the ways of Joshua Graham. The White Legs lost all hope of joining the Legion and disintegrated into a number of petty raiding bands, leaving Zion Valley a polluted cistern.
Daniel succeeded in leading the Sorrows out of Zion, as he had wanted to do from the start. The courier protected the Sorrows during the evacuation, ensuring that most reached their destination unharmed. Over the weeks and months to come, Daniel would see to the Sorrows' resettlement in Grand Staircase. Their adjustment to their new home was not without difficulty, but eventually, the Sorrows came to accept the loss of Zion.
Having helped Daniel and the Sorrows escape from Zion, the Dead Horses returned to their home at Dead Horse Point. The tribe continued to learn from the New Canaanites, and over many years built a flourishing community along the banks of the Colorado. Though the tribe's bond would endure, it was Joshua Graham's legend the Dead Horses would revere, not the tenets of New Canaan's faith.
Already weakened by several seasons of bad trading, the Happy Trails Caravan Company was initially discouraged by the results of its expedition, the fate of New Canaan, and the evacuation of the Sorrows from Zion made the prospect of trading seem fruitless. When Daniel told his family about the exploits of Happy Trails employee the courier, however, New Canaan decided to repay the company's kindness. Twice per year, New Canaanites made the dangerous journey west to trade with a company in the city of New Reno. The Happy Trails Caravan Company could not survive on such trading alone. But the New Canaanites' generosity made tough times go easier.
Follows Chuck took the courier's words to heart and decided that he would behold the sights and sounds of distant lands with his own eyes and ears. After returning to Dead Horse Point, He quarreled with his family and other tribe members about his ambitions. One morning, they awoke to discover that Followstruck had set off alone, westward, into the wilderness. He was never seen again.
Waking Cloud was distraught when she learned of her husband's death, but took comfort from her tribe and the compassion of the new Canaanites. She forgave Daniel for having concealed her husband's fate from her, and learned to accept his fate. When her grief faded, she took a husband from the Dead Horse tribe. At her bidding, he stayed close to home.
After leading the Sorrows from their home in Zion to safety in Grand Staircase, Daniel continued to wonder if he'd made the right choice. He spent his life evangelizing the beliefs of his people to a new generation of young men and women, as his ancestors had for centuries before him. He was happy with his family, but for the rest of his life, there were nights when he awoke with sadness to find he had been dreaming of Zion.
And with that, the courier walked out of the history of the tribes of Zion and back to the gathering storm of the Mojave Wasteland.
Ba-ba-da-bum. And then, of course, you get a footlocker full of unique weapons from everyone. Joshua Graham's armor, salt upon wounds, scripture. You get it all. But that is not how our story goes. No, 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 no. We return to this point. And we're going to tell Josh it's war. Well,
I'm glad
Daniel,
to see you're
it's
still
war.
with us.
Go tell both of them it's
How
war.
can I help you?
I checked in the valley and got you the map.
I appreciate it. Well, that's it. This is all we need. Now all that's left is to quietly pack up and try to get out of here without being noticed. That's assuming that Joshua won't try to stop me. And that he hasn't talked you into fighting the Whitelegs despite what I've said. Don't worry, I don't hold it against you. You're an outsider. Fighting seems like the practical solution. I'll tell you again. There's more at stake.
Okay. Need to think about this.
Even our Lord had doubts. Think it over, but listen to your heart. And do it quickly. We don't have much time.
What are we more likely to find? Hopefully one of these. And then when it turns into all this, really? Level 50. Oh, yeah, I remember that now. Thought you died. Your karma reset, you inflict 10% more damage. For every 100 points of karma, you gain 10 health. You're also immune to critical hits. Like, it's really good. To my knowledge. But we'll be fine. So many good perks that we actually never built up. Well, that's the price you pay, I suppose. Like Scrounger and that. Pack Rat, like ones that I would have always picked up, and I never ended up doing it. Yeah, we'll take the level 51 because the other two is like AP regenerates faster, attack speed's higher, but requires bad karma. If you have neutral karma, your luck increases. And that would be really good for certain things. But no, we'll go with I Thought You Died. Right down to the bottom, which I think makes us a true mortal. We've done it all. It's great. Some of them are perks that you could have got. But I like all the options. Also, don't know where Joshua is. Not going to speak to Joshua. We're just going to commence war now.
Unless you and Joshua have any objections, I'd like...
I think Joshua's right. We should fight.
No. Why? Why? Haven't you seen enough of what's going on here to see that the Sorrows don't need to butcher the Whitelegs for a piece of land? What Joshua wants is more than an attack. He wants a slaughter. And he needs more than you and the dead horses to do it. The Sorrows can't be pushed into this. You and Joshua don't have the right to force them into it. Please, consider what I'm saying.
This is the way of the world. They're part of it whether they like it or not, and you have the right to pull them off their land?
I've already explained to them that we're leaving. They've accepted it. What is Joshua going to tell them about being a warrior? What are you going to tell them about how to live with themselves after they got lost in the moment, killed someone who didn't deserve to die? Or does that not matter? Is that just an acceptable consequence if it means holding on to this valley? Maybe there is no place left in this world for mercy. But even if it tramples me into the dust, I will never accept it. And I will never condone it. Joshua must be waiting for you. I'll stay here with the others as I told them I would.
Okay.
Thank you for this. I know Daniel doesn't approve, but
doesn't
destroying
care,
the
like...
Whitelegs is the only way to ensure the Sorrows can remain in Zion. You and I will lead a group of Dead Horse warriors and Sorrows hunters into 3 Marys from this position. Our objective is to find the Whitelegs' leader, Salt Upon Wounds, and prevent him from fleeing. Show no quarter to the Whitelegs we come across. Make no mistake about why we are here. This is an extermination.
Let's do it.
God be with you.
Joshua Graham. Yep, we got a sweet perk. Wait, is this beginning me once again? You can't fast travel? Oh, we gotta walk the whole way down again? Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, they are right on cue, like.
This is where the road ends.
Oh! Oh! Boom. To be fair, I'm actually gonna wait the daytime because nighttime in Zion Valley tracks all sorts. So it's an all-out war at the moment between the factions. And we're slap bang in the middle of it. It's great. I love it.
That's it.
Oh, got me right in the torso. You know what I never seen? I didn't see a giant cazador.
This is where the road ends.
Which is strange because there's normally several places you find them. And we're a very high level, so it's a little odd, but would be the reason why my companions haven't died so much. Because we lost so many companions in our Fists Only run. They
Die where you stand.
Giant chasm.
This is where the road ends.
They normally would have spawned from up there. Out of all the Fallout games I've died, I don't think I've ever died as much as this caravan site. Trying to do the fists only run. Just took hit after hit after hit from giant cazadors. And I died and died and died. Right, need sleep. We're not getting any time soon. Smack, 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 smack.
This is where the road ends.
I'm opting to ignore you. Such a gruesome way to go.
Judgment.
See, it's all in your knees. That's where you're going wrong. You only thought the other thing was violent. Poor old baby. Hey, you.
The time for talk is past. The Lord's work must be done.
Gotcha. We'll just keep we save game going for it. Aha, reinforcements, sorrows. Dead horses.
You can know Ninkupami.
Stand! Aki!
I won't loot as much, I'll just go full on killing.
This is taking too long. We can't let salt upon wounds escape. I'm going to find a way around. God willing, we will finish this together.
So that just happened. Disc fan that we can't pick up yet. Oh, it is wanting you to go this way. I went from nah, won't loot to we're back. Full blown back to looting. Food. Bit of cram. Really weird assortment of things. Which makes me think people must have lived here before the White Legs even came. Which would fit a lot of the stories that were told. Hate it so much. Well, didn't know we had more than one doctor's bag though. That saves the day. Okay, that's a pressure plate. Ah. The more you know. are you? No. I will have to double check that we have missed skill books anywhere. Because you know they're kind of vital. We need more or less just one skill book for most of the skills to progress. I don't even need any supplies, I just want to check. Make sure that when you're fighting through this, there's nothing that we've missed. Never took the time to even come up here. I was there to finish the DLC. And that is what I did.
You can know Ninkumpami. Take this!
You can nikumpa me!
There are you!
Oh. Nothing more frightening than thinking he's dead, only to find out he's not dead. Ah, no. We've now reached the point where it is a commodity to be able to carry anything now. Wonder, like, they knew we were coming. Did we catch them off guard? Because this has been a massacre. Wait do you see what I do to Salt the Palm Wounds when I get my hands on him this time? He got off lightly. Pure battered, that dead horse. Oh, the friendly fire. I'll deal with them. We'll run into them, into the horde. Oh.
We warned you at Syracuse, and you persisted. You took advantage of us at New Canaan to drive us out. And like the dogs of Caesar you are, you followed us to Zion. And now you stand on holy ground, a temple to God's glory on earth. The only use for an animal in our temple is sacrifice. Kale wachene conserva o. You understand me, don't you? Don't you?
Outman. Kunaman mad. He killed all white legs. You talk. You stop.
Well, this isn't what I signed up for. Let me talk to Joshua about this. Whatever, Joshua, put a cap in General Gobbledygook here.
Baika Cur. You devil.
There. That's it. It's finished. When they hear what happened here, the Whitelegs will crawl back to their great Salt Lake. If Caesar doesn't kill them, they'll wither and die like the cursed mongrels they are. Come, let's find Daniel. Tomorrow we'll be here soon, and there is still much work to be done.
And so it was that the conflict
Now let's hear how it
between the
changes
Canaanites
from
and the
the
Whitelegs
last one.
was finally resolved. The courier's involvement had tipped the scale, shifting the fragile balance of power.
Joshua Graham's chilling execution of salt upon wounds seared into their minds. The surviving Whitelegs retreated to the Great Salt Lake. Unable to shake the memory of their brutal defeat and the dead horse's savagery in battle, the Whitelegs feared further reprisals. They fled north, out of Utah, into Wyoming. The wilderness was harsh, and the first winter claimed over half the tribe. When spring came, the survivors parted ways in small bands. And so, the Whitelegs died a quiet, ignominious death.
The Sorrows fought beside Joshua Graham and the dead horses, eradicating the threat the Whitelegs posed to Zion. Watching as the courier encouraged Joshua Graham to execute Salt Upon Wounds.
Oh, they all watched me do
the Sorrows
that.
learned that New Canaan offered no mercy to the wicked. The Sorrows' transformation from a peaceful, timid tribe into a merciless, warlike people broke Daniel's heart. Over time, the Sorrows became ever more ruthless in their dealings, even with each other. Daniel traveled to and fro between the New Canaanites and Zion, continuing to plead for a return to the old ways whenever he visited. Eventually, the Sorrows grew tired of his blather and turned their backs on him.
Having helped eradicate the Whitelegs from Zion, the dead horses returned to Dead Horse Point in triumph. They remained neutral toward the Sorrows, but as years went on, there were periods of competitive friction, even violence between the tribes. The New Canaanites, Daniel especially, intervened regularly as mediators.
What happens to
but found
Josh
it
in this
difficult
ending?
to reconcile
Joshua?
the tribe's conflicts.
The defeat of the Whitelegs in Zion marked a turning point in the fortunes of the Happy Trails Caravan Company. Every 2 months, the caravan met with the New Canaanites in Zion Valley to trade. Happy Trails soon returned to prosperity. The vigilance of the Sorrows and dead horses in defending southwestern Utah, initially startling to Happy Trails caravans, soon proved a blessing. The tribes united against the 80s, driving them back from Highway 50, and thus opening yet another trading route
Oh,
for
so the
Happy Trails
Sorrows and the
Caravan.
Dead Horses united to do that?
Follows Chuck took the courier's words to heart and decided that he would behold the sights and sounds of distant lands with his own eyes and ears. After returning to Dead Horse Point,
Okay, so he has the
he
same
quarreled
ending,
with his
which is
family and
fair
other
enough.
tribe members about his ambitions. One morning, they awoke to discover that Follows Chalk had set off alone, westward.
Imagine you ran
Into the
like he
wilderness.
was in the TV show or something.
He
That'd be
was
amazing.
never seen again.
Waking
Big
Cloud
shout
was
out
distraught when she
to
learned of her
Follows Chalk.
husband's death, but took comfort from her tribe and the compassion of the new Canaanites. She forgave Daniel for having concealed her husband's fate from her, and learned to accept his fate. When her grief faded, she took a husband from the Dead Horse tribe. At her bidding, he stayed close to home.
With the White Legs
Oh,
crushed,
let's go.
Joshua Graham led the Sorrows and Dead Horses in tearing apart and burning the corpses of their enemies. He set about training his army in the way of the Canaanite, and soon the new Canaanites and tribes of Zion were feared well into the Mojave. Legends of the Burn Man grew even more depraved and terrifying.
For years after the defeat of the Whitelegs, Daniel did his best to minister to the Sorrow's spiritual needs. Try as he might, he could not hold back the tribe's increasing militancy and reverence of Joshua Graham. Demoralized, he returned to his family in Dead Horse Point. His failures haunted him for the rest of his days.
And with that, the courier walked
Not a
out
great
the
ending
history
for
of the
Daniel,
tribes
but
of Zion
is what it is.
And back to the gathering storm of the Mojave Wasteland.
Wait, how long? 3 Marys? Nah, it was ages ago. Alright. A rainy day. Not as sunny as it was earlier, but at least we get all our pretty cool looking stuff. Now, I will return, of course. Because there's a lot of stuff I need to haul from the area back to our base. And I need to see if there's any skill books I've missed. So that's my 2 points of interest. Everything else is done. There's no... Everyone disappears, by the way. There's like no going and speaking to anyone now or getting a companion, which is kind of sad. Thought Follows Chalk would join you. It'd be pretty cool, but... Oh, that is Honest Hearts. Done. Completed Departing Paradise. As I said, you can go back. So there's no problem that way. Ah, it's beautiful. Beautiful and great to be back in our beautiful Mojave. So, here's the little place to start our next adventure. But first things, Novak, check books, empty inventory, go back, grab whatever books we need, grab all the stuff, haul it back to here. And then we'll go do Old World Blues. There's a few companion quests we have to do, but as I said, most of them can't really be completed until we're doing certain endings like Boone and whatnot, because Boone, it'd be so handy to just mow through the Legion with Boone and others. So yeah, thank you so much for following along for the Honest Hearts playthrough. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.